Checker flag is out for Spangler as he come across the line here.
The 217 coming off of 4. It'll be hit.
Coming there on 3 and 4. Salas gets win number 2 of the night.
Randy Shreves from 19th to victory.
The card's 3 and 4 out here. It's going to be Watson for the win. It's going to be Shreves getting the win.
He sees the checkered flag win. Give it to William Watson.
All right, give us a moment here. We're getting things situated here for Thursday Night Thunder as they get ready to go here tonight. They should do that a different way then, huh? Well, we're going to do it that way. All right, here we go. I'm not going to do what I want you to. All right, there we go. All right, just give it a moment here as we get this situated. I know we have just a slight hiccup here at the moment. Just give me a slight moment here as we got just a real quick change I got to do here. They're getting ready for qualifying. I see him coming out there onto the track, and I'm sorry that there does not seem to be any overlays on the stream as of yet. Bear with me here as we get that squared away. Currently here, getting it situated. Oh, that changing anything, but here we go. Heat number 1 coming up. I don't know if you guys can read that or not. We're going to find out here. As we get set to roll here tonight. Get out of here. All right, your heat number 1 grid here this Thursday night for Thursday Night Thunder. Out there in row number 1, starting there on pole tonight, is going to be Clay Christopherson in that 051. You got Mike Brewer there in a second. On the outside there, driving at number 390. Brian Dickens there in a third, driving the 122. Chad Lackey there in a fourth, driving the number 66. Outside row number 2. Inside row number 3, going to be Mike Stryker there in the 5th position, driving the 015. Trevor Carew in the 075 here tonight. There on outside row number 3. Inside row number 4 is going to be Kurt Schatzer in that number 7 with Harold Klump there in the 8th position, driving the number 35. The 518 Joseph Grandy's going to start there in 9th tonight. There on the inside of row number 5. Now we get that coming live there for you. Here tonight as they get set to rock and roll. Here with the 358s to start us off here at Knoxville. One more time around, here we go. Everybody's getting lined up, set to rock and roll. Got Clay Christopherson out there in the front. As your pull center there on the inside. Mike Brewer there in the 39 on the outside as they get ready to start here. Around off of the backstretch here. AC Hank's Garage, 358s, and then a home the copy there for the big blocks. Pace car rolls off. Here we go. Down and away. And down that front straightaway they go. In the corner, number 1. Everybody's fighting for position. Christopherson out there in front. And they head there off turn number 2. And down there around 3 and 4, back out onto the front stretch. Christopherson with the lead as they head on out there on through into 1 and 2. Brewer still there in second. They're in front. Still Christopherson as they battle it out there. Down there through off of the corner. And you watch them barrel down through the front stretch. Still 6 laps to go here in heat number 1. As they work side by side there, you see the 122 working there underneath. And works there up off the corner, down through the front stretch. They work on out here. Great job by these drivers. They head on out there. Two laps to go as they head on out here. Christopherson still with the lead. Hey, watching there, coming off the corner. 2 laps to go for Christopherson. Looking there around Rouge, Traeger, Hather, Randy back here as well, fighting for position. We're down there off of the corner. Unofficial results. Clay Christopherson getting that heat number 1 win. Mike Brewer there in second. Chad Lackey in third. Brian Dickens there for it. Here we go. Your official results for heat number 1. Strolling in here. Gonna be Clay Christopherson there getting the win. Mike Brewer in second. Third going to Chad Lackey. Fourth going to Brian Dickens. Fifth to Trevor Garou. There in sixth. Kyle Stryker. They got Kurt Schatzer there in 7th. Jason Grandy there in 8th. And Harold Klump there in 9th. All right, getting here ready for heat number 2. Yeah, we get them coming in here. Your grid for heat number 2 on the last row. William Watson starting there in 8th. 7th starting Michael Vecchio there in the 147. Row number 3 outside Maverick Seidel, and it was inside the 007. There's Sam Buckman. Isaac Salas there in 4th. Driving at number 5. 3rd place inside row number 2 is going to go to the 099 of Billy Roberts. Dean Reynolds starting outside pole there in row number 1. Starting there in 2nd position. First position on pole going to Ryland Banks there in the number 76. And they head off here into the starting positions here. On that front stretch, getting everything situated. Come on, get me down on track so we can see what in the hell's going on. There you want them coming there off the track here. 8 laps to go once again here in the 358s. Brought to you by Hawks Garage. And down here off the corner, great job there, getting off to a great start. Everybody battles it on out there. And down there through the corner, Dean Reynolds out there to the lead. Isaac Salas there in 2nd. Maverick Seidel's here 3rd. He's got William Watson in that 23 though, looking underneath. If he can make it happen there, they work on to that backstretch. Salas still sits 2nd with Reynolds out there in front. William Watson sitting 4th tonight with Ryland Banks there in 5th. And they bring it on out here off of the corner. William Watson still sitting there in 4th. Dean Reynolds trying to hold off the pack behind him. Everybody battles it on out there in the corner, number 1. Down through the backstretch. Watson splits Dean and Seidel as he gets up there into the lead. Now Watson takes over the lead there, coming down the backstretch. Squeeze play through the middle, makes it happen. As they head there off of the corner, now down there in the corner number 1 and 2. Reynolds there, 4 laps to go, trying to make it happen. Hey, watch him come up here off of the corner. And out through the front straightaway, Watson still in the lead. They head on out there in the corner, 3 and 4 as you watch them. Yeah, we got Hawks Garage as your sponsor here for your 358s. And then Village House Coffee. as your sponsor there in the big blocks. You should be able to see them a little better now. Hawks Garage there for the 358 Modifieds here tonight at Williams Grove. There you got them coming here. William Watson getting the win here in heat number 2. Dean Reynolds there in second. Maverick Seidel in third as they battle it out there into the backstretch. Coming around here to the front now. Dean Reynolds, as we said, gets second here for heat number 3 on the board. Here soon, we'll get with your heat 2 results. Heat 2 results, they're going to be William Watson getting the win. Dean Reynolds there in second. Maverick Seidel there third. Ryland Banks in fourth. Billy Roberts in fifth. And Michael Baccio there in sixth. Sam Blockman seventh. Isaac Salas in eighth. All right, now we're getting here to heat number 3. Your starting grid. Starting there on pole is going to be Alex Pomerleau in the 397. Shane Billings to the outside of row number 1. Whoa, that didn't feel too good. Shane Billings, as we said, on the outside of row number 1 there in the 017. Starting in position 2. Jeff Barker in the 513 starts inside row number 2 in the third with John Clemaux Jr. in the 034 starting fourth. Inside row number 3 is going to be that of Brian Moore in that 55 starting in fifth. Outside row number 3 is going to be Alex Uber in the number 2. Jeff Sharp starts inside row number 4 in the number 280 with Chris Alley there in the 096 on his outside on row number 4 starting in 8th. All right, here we go. Heat number 3 getting ready to rock and roll here. Alex Pomerleau in that front row. Get ready to send them off as they head down that backstretch here. Final time before the green for heat number 3. Who's ready to see more racing action? We got here the Coast to Coast Racing League working down there off of corner number 4. Pace car pulls off, getting ready here. 8 laps the distance for heat number 3. And they're down and away. The loud pedal gets pressed into corner number 1. They go side by side. Got the 17 of Shane Billings on that outside lane. The 397 there of Alec Pomerleau. Down there on the inside of Alec, trying to get out there, trying to make that inside work here, and he does so for the moment. But the 17 of Shane Billings is going to work back to the inside, coming down that front straightaway as they slide through turn 1 and 2, back down to the backstretch. Here comes Pomerleau out there to the front. Shane Billings there in second. Clemaux Jr. He's been having a pretty decent run here a few times. It's unfortunate it hasn't been able to fully close out the field here lately, but he did have a good run last week. We'll see if he can duplicate that here this week as he gets to the inside there of Alec Uber coming there off turn number 2. You got Brian Moore back here in 5th. Jeff Barker 6th. Alex Pomerleau still leading the way. Here they come off the corner. Village House Coffee is your sponsor of the big blocks, which will be coming up after the 358s tonight. You watching them down there off of the corner number 2 down there in the 3 and 4. Shane Billings there in second. Alec Uber there in third. Hawk Garage here tonight. I think that was Uncle Ron, but I'm not sure. I could be wrong with that name. I know somebody went and reached out to us, and I'm thankful that they did here for the Thursday Night Thunder to help sponsor Coast to Coast Racing action. John Clemaux Jr. is there for it. Jeff Sharp there in 5th. Clemaux Jr. in that transfer spot. Shane Billings is up there in front. There you see Alex Pomerleau still holds on to that lead after starting up there as they work there off the corner. With John Clemaux Jr. there in 4th. 5th going to Jeff Sharp at the moment. Coming there off turn number 4. Shane Billings trying to chase down out. Can't get there. And work off at turn number 2 down that back straightaway. Alec Pomerleau out there in front. Shane Billings there in 2nd. The 2 laps to go. Final lap here. They come across the line for heat number 3 here tonight. In your 358 Modifieds. Down there off of 2. Down the back straightaway. Alec Pomerleau trying to hang on to it. Shane Billings One last ditch effort here. They work through 3 and 4. Can he get it cut underneath? No, he can't. He's just going to let it slide as he knows he's into the main show. And that is going to be, results there. Alex Parmalu getting the win here in heat number 3 on the night for your 358 modifieds. All right, here we go. Your winners here. Alex Parmalu getting the win. Shane Billings there in second. Alec Uber there in third. John Clemaux Jr. finishes fourth here in heat number 3. Jeff Sharp there in fifth. Brian Moore in sixth. Jeff Barker seventh. And Chris Albee will finish there in eighth. Now we're getting here to the LCQ, your last chance qualifier. Starting there on pole is going to be Trevor Garou in the 075. Billy Roberts in the 099. Jeff Sharp will start third in the 280. There on inside row number 2 with Mike Stryker to his outside. Inside going to Michael Baccio there in fifth. Brian Moore there in sixth. Outside row number 3, Kurt Schatzer. Inside row number 4, driving at 218 in seventh. Sam Bachman rolls off 8th tonight, driving a 007. The 513, Jeff Barker. Inside row number 5 in 9th with Joseph Grandy to his outside in 10th, driving at 518. Isaac Salas rolls off in 11th here with the number 5 and the 096 of Chris Albee rolls off there in 12th. 13th here rounding out your field is going to be the 35 of Harold Klump. So this is your LCQ here rolling now as they roll down that front stretch. I think it's 10 laps. Yes, it is. 10 laps here for the 358 Big Block Mods. As the 358s are brought to you by Hawks Garage. Down there through the front, or down there off of turn 2. You got that 075 out there in front. You're looking there at the 747 of Michael Baccio. Another good runner here. And they work there off the corner. Down there off the corner they come. Onto the front stretch they go. And in the corner number 1, up there on the high side is the 99 of Billy Roberts. Trying to make it happen, can't quite do so. As Trevor Garou gets around on Brian Moore out there. Says he's in front, but that is not true. Now we got something happening here with SDK. We'll get it straightened out here as they come across the line. There it goes. Trevor Garou, your leader. Out there in front, Billy Roberts second. Mike Stryker in third there. Jeff Sharp there in fourth. Heading on out through turn 3 and 4 here for your last chance qualifier. I think they're taking 12, so that means Michael Bacchio's got to find some way to get up there into the show here. We'll see here as we got 8 laps to go. There you see the 096, Chris Albee trying to work his way up through the 513 of Barker, sitting there in 11th. The 35 of Harold Klump up there on the outside, trying to whirl his way up into the show. Isaac Salas there in 5th. Yeah, he's back here a little farther than normal than I'm used to seeing him. He's usually up there towards the front a little bit more. Might be struggling just a tad bit here tonight at Knoxville. Knoxville not playing nice. Little bit 7 there, Sam Bachman. Up there on the high side. I do look for Salas, though. He's making a run here towards the end of the feature. As he's making a run for it now as he's up 4 spots from where he started. And he's down there on that inside lane, working on out there. Front straight away. Billy Roberts out there in front. Trevor Garou there in second. Mike Stryker there in third with Brian Moore in fourth. As they keep it on rolling down that back straight away. The 99 of Billy Roberts now to the lead as Trevor Garou falls back into second. Mike Stryker third. 5 laps now. 4 laps to go as they come across the line here with the Hawks Garage 358 in the corner 1 and 2 down that back straight away. Trevor Garou there in second. Mike Stryker there third. Sam Bachman down there on the inside. Brian Moore there in fifth. He battles it on out there. Bacchio still back here in the back. You can see Chris Albee. He's back here in 12th position. And I believe it is the top 12 that make it. They got Jeff Barker there in 11th. Harold Klump there in 10th. Joseph Grandy there in 9th with Jeff Sharp in 8th. Kurt Schatzer in 7th. Now they keep rolling here off of the corner. Working down there in the 1 and 2. You got the 15, Mike Stryker trying to get underneath. Good 75 of Trevor Guru. Not sure he's there yet as they work there off the corner. And down there on to the front stretch. Once again, final lap here for Billy Roberts as he's got the lead here for Vitaly Motorsports down in the corner number 3 and 4. Trevor Guru there in 2nd. Mike Stryker there 3rd. Sam Bachman 4th with Isaac Salas there in 5th as it's sitting there right now. As they come across there, looks like Jeff Barker's gonna be, oh no, Jeff Barker backing out a little bit, letting Pachillo come by. Jeff Barker not in the show here tonight. Well, no, he is, okay. So everybody made it from what I can see. So we'll be back. Well, hold on a moment. Here is your consolation result. Here is Billy Roberts getting the win. Trevor Guru there 2nd. Mike Stryker there in 3rd. Sam Bachman 4th. Isaac Salas there 5th. Brian Moore there in 6th. Kurt Schatzer there in 7th. Joseph Grandy there in 8th. Jeff Sharp there in 9th. Errol Clump in 10th. Chris Aldry there in 11th. Michael Pachillo there in 12th. Jeff Barker there in 13th. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors. Don't go anywhere. Your main event of the Hawk Garage 358's coming up in just a few moments.
Thank you to our sponsors and partners for the 2025-2026 winter season.
Okay, our SDK kind of shut down a moment. So give me a moment here to try to get it back. Now we got our grid coming up here. You guys still got your grid. There you see the 051 Clay Christopherson getting on the pole. William Watson to his outside. In third tonight. That is going to be inside row number 2. Mike Parmalu in the 397. And there in for it, Mike Brewer in the 390. All right, there in fifth, going to be Dean Reynolds driving the number 79 with Shane Billings to his outside in the 017. Chad Lackey starting in 7th tonight, inside row number 4 in the 66. Maverick Seidel there in 8th, driving the car number 26. Inside row number 5 in 9th, that's going to start Alec Uber in the number 2 with Brian Dickens there in the 122. Brandon Banks in car number 76 starts inside row number 6 in 11th with Jungle Malks Jr. in the 034 starting in 12th. 13th tonight, that's going to start Billy Roberts in the 099 with Trevor Guru there in 099 there in 13th. Trevor Guru in the 075 starting there 14th. Mike Stringer in 15th. PM Bachman in 16th in the 007. 17th going to go to Isaac Salas in the number 5. And Brian Moore in the 18th position. Outside row number 9 in the 55. Kurt Schatzer in the 218. And 19th inside row number 10 with Joseph Grandy to his outside in 20th position. Driving the 518. Inside row number 11 is going to be Jeff Sharp driving that number 280 with Harold Klump there in the 22nd position, driving car number 35. Inside row number 12 is going to be the 096 of Chris Albee and Michael Machio, rounding out your field there in 24th. Watching them there off of the corner. Green flag is out there, down and away, 30 laps the distance here for Thursday Night Thunder. Working down there off of the corner they go. Caution already underway at Brian Moore and others having issues back here. As Joseph Grandy, Brian Moore are getting together back here. We'll take another look at it here on the pole instant replay. Now we got them coming here off of the corner, down through the front straightaway, and have a little bit of hiccup there, and there you see it. They just stack up there in the corner. Not sure exactly what happened. See if we can rewind this to see exactly what might have transpired, as it looked like there was a little bit of hiccup there. As Joseph Grandy, there you go. Okay, so the 15 ends up in there a little tight. The 218 gets into the back. That's Kurt Schatzer. The 5 of Salas getting a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's the 518 there of Grandy getting a piece of it. Brian Moore, as you see up there in that 055. Tough break there. That's not how you want to start the night, that's for sure. There, you're watching them come on out there down through the back stretch. Mike Brewer there in the 39. Grandy is out. Watson there in second. There in the number 23. They come there off of the corner. Getting ready here once again. Lights are off on that pace machine. They come out of turn number 2. They're down and away. The 51 getting a good start. They're going 3 wide back here. Dean Reynolds thought better of it. Backs out of it a little bit. Down there on that inside as they come out of the corner number 2. Dean Reynolds there on that inside lane, falling back into about 9th at the moment. Maverick Seidel working on his outside there into number 26. Mike Stryker, he's back here in the 015. And you got Christopherson out there in front. William Watson there in second. Brewer there in third. Billings there fourth. Maverick Seidel in fifth. Salas has issues back here at the back. Sideways, crashed, and having issues. And it looks like he's got a tire gone on the front end of that machine. Clay Christopherson, he's off the racing surface. Will stay green here as they roll onto the backstretch. Watson out there in second. Brewer third. Billings there fourth. Seidel back here in fifth. Working there off of the corner they go down across the front stretch. The 66 there of Chad Lackey on that inside lane. And work there off that bottom. 3V8 not quite having the power they would like it to have off the bottom of the racetrack. They are definitely getting this track worn in though. As you see Brewer up there on the high side. Watson also running a little bit higher, running about mid-track to high line. Christopherson's running about mid-track the whole way through the quarter. Brewer there in third. He's going to go a little bit lower and slide it through the corner. Shane Billings there in fourth. Bit going to Maverick Seidel. That's the whole thing with dirt track racing. The track changes so much during these races. It's hard to say exactly what line's going to be the fastest, because as soon as you find one fast line, that starts to wear out, another fast line picks up. So it's definitely constant track conditions changing here on dirt track racing, depending on where that moisture lays. And you see a lot of them trying to get up there and push that cushion up there towards the top of the racetrack. So Brewer is still hanging on to the lower side down there across that bottom lip. He looks like he might be gaining a little bit on Watson. I'm not sure. No, he lost a little bit there coming through 3 and 4. He picks it back up as he slides it on out of turn 4. Down through the front stretch, 18 to 26 at Seidel. 21 laps to go here in the main event of the 358 Modified. Here from Hawks Garage. Working down there in the corner number 3 and 4. William Watson there in second. Brewer there third. Clay Christopherson there in front. There's Seidel there in the 26. Working on the outside of the 66 of Chad Lackey. The 17 there of Shane Billings also gets around him. Chad Lackey stays down there on the bottom. Dean Reynolds now looking to see if he can pick up something on that outside lane. Got other driver back there, Machio up from where he started. He's here in 15th, trying to work around Harold Club down there on the inside. You see there's the 218 of Kurt Schatzer. Salas calling it done. He is out. Tough track tonight for Salas. The track just did not cooperate for him apparently. We'll hopefully see him back in the big blocks as they come down that back straightaway. Watson, Brewer, Lackey there in fourth, with Billings there in fifth. Drivers work there off turn number 4, down there across the front straightaway. Working there, off they go. We got the Thursday night small block modified. Points leader is Isaac Salas with 323. Joseph Grandy in second, and Sam Bachman in third with 267. Now the thing of it is, there is drop weeks to figure into that. I think it's one or two. I'm not sure. I can't fully remember off the top of my head, but there is drop weeks to figure into that. So if a driver misses a week, they can come out and still compete. And the other drivers that'll take their best finishes, I believe, if I'm correctly thinking of that. I head there off of corner number 2 down that back straightaway. Brewer there in third. Lackey there in fourth. Billings there in fifth. Christopherson still out there in front. Take a look here and see what Christopherson is in the point. He's in 6th with 216. Randy, as we said, is in 2nd. Where's Randy at here tonight? Grandy is out as well down there at the back, so not the week for them down there at the top of the leaderboard. Sam Bachman is 3rd, and he's back here in 18th right now in the 007, so he's also towards the back here tonight. William Watson out there in 2nd, trying to chase down Clay Christopherson. You got Mike Brewer there in 3rd, Chad Lackey out there in 4th, as he looks underneath the 39 of Mike Brewer. Gets under him, gets a good pass there. Coming to turn 2 down that back straightaway. Brewer not wanting to give up on it though. He's up there on that high side, going to try to motor it on around there to get back to the outside. Can't quite do it. Looks like Lackey now getting a possibly get underneath Watson coming there out of turn number 4. Or, I'm sorry, turn number 2 down that back straightaway. Heading here into turn 3 and 4. He's down there on the bottom right there. You can see him picking that front end up on that berm on the bottom of the racetrack. That bottom really starting to come in now as they rolling around here. Second caution of the night as Jeff Sharp goes around back here down there on the inside of the speedway now. Take a look at what happened to Jeff Sharp. Here from the On the Pole instant replay. There in that number 28. Oh no! Ends up just getting caught up there. Just things happen so fast. Gets spun around there on the back stretch. There we go here with On the Pole tonight. Vecchio and Sharp down there on pit road. Watson, your second place car. Chris Elby having issues here. Not sure what happened to Elby under caution. You see Elby there in the 096. Vecchio ends up there. Oh, okay. Not sure what happened to Vecchio there. He ended up bouncing off that outside wall and getting into Albie there. Albie's still out there on track. I'm going to say possibly some sort of technical issue there for Michael. I see him there, single file here as we're under 10 to go. Clay Christopherson, your race leader. Pace car rolls up. Barney grabs the flag. They're down away. Green flag back in the air here at Knoxville, down the front straightaway. Christopherson, your leader. Watson there in second. Lackey down there on the bottom side. Brewer there in fourth. Dean Reynolds now falls back in the fifth with Shane Billings really getting the rocket around the outside of him, down there to the inside. What a run there to the back bumper of Brewer as Lackey gets underneath of Watson once again. Down here in the corner, number 1 and 2, down there through the slick goes Lackey as he tries to get up there to battle Watson. Watson still hanging on there for Full Throttle Motorsports in second place. Down there across that bottom berm is that 66. Really getting that thing to turn really well down there along that bottom side of the racetrack here tonight. And now he'll slide it up, give the slide there to Watson. Watson's going to try to look underneath. Coming down that back straightaway, gets the nose there. Lackey has to make sure that he doesn't screw it up there, up on the top side. Here comes Watson back underneath. As Lackey stuck up there to the high side, down there through 1 and 2. Watson's going to come up, and Lackey's going to go back underneath now. Coming down that back straightaway here at Thursday Night Thunder. 6 laps to go. Lackey down here on the bottom side. Watson up there to the top side. Brewer down there on the inside as well. He's sitting there up there to battle in the top podium position here. Before too long. He's back in the mix. Looking to the bottom side there underneath Watson. He's also trying to find that little bit of grip down there on the bottom side, similar to that of Lackey. As he does so, Brewer in the nose underneath of Watson. Now goes to the outside through 1 and 2. That's going to allow the 17 there, Shane Billings, to close in on him. And now Brewer looks to go back to the bottom here through 3 and 4. Lost some ground there on Watson, as Lackey still rolls that bottom side really well there in second. There you see, catching the leader of Christopherson. Are we going to have a battle for the lead here before the end of it? 3 laps to go with Christopherson, your leader, here in the 3 and 4. For your 358 Modifieds, brought to you by Hawks Garage. As you see, Lackey is right there. Can he make it happen? He's got 2 laps to do it. Working through 1 and 2, gonna roll it through. Off the corner, gonna try to hang on. Get the run off of 2 and slam it down into 3 and 4. Christopherson is there, but Lackey's not letting up as he's there right at the back bumper of Christopherson, and he's gonna try to nose it in here in 1 and 2. He will. Down there underneath, final lap. Here we go, drag race down the backstretch. The nose of Lackey's underneath Christopherson. They come here in the 3 and 4, side by side here off of 3 and 4. Who's it going to be? They're so tight coming here off the lead, and it's going to be, holy crap, it's going to be Christopherson possibly getting it by .01. We're going to see if that changes here as the official results click in here. What a finish there, .013 gap between Christopherson and Lackey. Lackey almost comes through there to get the win. Wow, what a lap. We'll get a better shot of it here as we bring up the official results. We'll break it down even closer. And your feature results, here we go. At .016. There over top of Lackey. It's Clay Christopherson getting the win here tonight with your Thursday Night Thunder. What a finish there. Chad Lackey there in second. Watson there in third. Brewer fourth. Shane Billings there in fifth. Dean Reynolds sixth. Rylan Banks gets seventh. Maverick Seidel there in eighth. Brian Dickens, he'll finish here in ninth. Billy Roberts 10th tonight. Sam Buckman in 11th. 12th going to Kurt Satzer. Harold Klump there 13th. Trevor Garou 14th. Alex Parmalu there in 15th. Brian Moore 16th. John Clemaux Jr. there in 17th. 18th going tonight to 18th tonight going to Chris Albee. Mike Stryker there in 19th. Alex Ober there in 20th. Michael Vecchio there in 21st. Jeff Sharp there in 22nd. Isaac Salas 23rd there tonight. With Joseph Grandy there in 24th. Man, oh man, what a race there to finish that one out. We're getting with your top three finishers momentarily. So we got William Watson finishing third. Good evening here, Watson. How's it going?
Good about you, bud.
It's going well, man. Oh, man. You just did it. I don't know if you could contend with those two in front of you.
No, they're fast. I couldn't figure anything out for Clay to catch up to him. And then Lackey was just, I don't know, he was, if he ran the slider, he was fast. If he ran the bottom, he was fast. I mean, there wasn't nothing I could do. I couldn't hold it on the bottom, keep it straight. So I was glad to be up there. Made a good move in the heat race after Isaac made a mistake and split some people and stayed up there.
Well, he did a great job getting up there into that third spot. And looked like the track was pretty good and racy here tonight.
Yeah, it was okay. Heat races, it was pretty tacky. Pretty much all over. You could run anywhere, but fast line was obviously the middle right there. Like I said, it was just hard for me to find the line. I was doing sliders, top, I went bottom a couple times. I was like, well, bottom's going to be my slowest because I can't keep it straight. But then next thing you know, here comes Lackey just flying up on the bottom. I'm like, well, that's where it's at, but I can't get down there, so.
Oh, I don't think you can get any closer to the bottom without being on the curb.
Yeah. You drop, if you have one tire in that slick right there and keep one tire right there up against the curb, you're good. If you get two off of it in the slick, you're getting sideways, so you got to let it out. So you got to be really consistent, which I'm normally pretty consistent, but I couldn't do it tonight.
Well, I mean, you still gave a heck of a run here getting third. You got sponsor shouts. Anybody want to thank for third place here in the 358s?
Yeah, Team SFDN, Sponsor P Shop, Stu Pro Performance, GripPacks.com, Danny Dirt Car Series, Vortex Scraps for the Routes, Express Installation, Coast to Coast, Shaggy TV, and you for broadcasting.
All right, congrats again on third place. And are we going to see you in the big block?
Yeah, I'll be there.
All righty, good luck.
All right, thank you.
All right, have a William Watson. Now we'll get with Chad Lackey. Good evening there, Chad. How's it going?
Hey, how's it going, Adam?
It's going well. Man, oh, man, what a last lap, last-ditch effort you had there. Just unfortunately came up just a tiny bit shy of getting that win.
Yeah, no, I just had a good chat. I just had a good chat there with Clay. And, man, that was insanely fun, man. I enjoyed every minute of that. Car was on rails tonight. Everywhere I put it, it just felt like it'd hook up, except two. I felt on the top coming out of two, it just wanted to come around on me a little bit. So, yeah, tried the bottom there in the last lap in 1 and 2, and managed to get a good run on Clay, and stayed under him going into 3 and 4. And I thought maybe I was gonna get a nice run on the bottom, but no, he held me off there, and it would have finished.
Well, I think if you might have had another lap, it might have been a different story.
No, definitely. I think I just needed one more lap. I would have had a nice slider on him or something, or I probably would have stuck on the bottom 1 and 2. And yeah, I might have pulled on him a little bit, but we'll never know. Anyways, hats off to Clay there for that race. That was amazing, and William there for his third place finish.
Well, you did a great job there, Lackey, getting that second place tonight. You got sponsors, shout-outs, anybody you want to thank for getting second here in such a close battle there with a photo finish tonight?
Yeah, gotta start with Billings Motorsports, Urishi Media, Tommy Guns Customs for the sweet wrap. All the staff in CTC for putting this league on. Amazing league to be a part of. Yourself, Adam, for doing the broadcast. And say hi to everyone watching. Hope you enjoyed the race.
It was a race to watch, that's for sure. So
yeah, for sure.
You coming out in the big blocks? If so, good luck.
I'm not, unfortunately. I got an esports dirt car event to go to tonight. So yeah, I just want to wish everyone good luck in that. And yeah.
Well, good luck to you too there, Chad. I'm sure you're going to need it over there.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, good luck. We'll catch you next week.
Thanks, Adam.
All right, that was Chad Lackey, your second place. Now we'll get with Clay Christopherson. We'll see what he has to say. Good evening there, Clay. Man, oh man, had to race the wheels off without that last lap.
Yeah, I was pretty lost after the last caution. I wanted to explore a little bit, but being in the lead, you don't really have that choice. I just tried to hold my own where I knew I was staying in the lead. No, when he got underneath me on that last lap, I was kind of ready for it because I figured he was going to get a run. But no, we were able to hold him off by a little bit coming out of 4 there. So we were pedaling in 3 and 4, that's for sure.
Yeah, you definitely gave a great finish there tonight. And, you know, some of these camera angles, it's just so hard to tell coming across the line. I got to wait for that official time stamp to come in to really know who won the race. So you did a great job tonight there, Clay, getting that victory. It was a fun last lap to watch. What was your thoughts? Do you think that track was pretty racy tonight? You think it definitely opened up? It looked to me like we had 2 lanes of racing.
Last 10, it really opened up. The first few seemed kind of middle, top 1 and 2, and bottom 3 and 4, and it seemed like the track really moved around with 10 to go.
It definitely looked like it moved around a lot tonight. And that's what I was telling our viewers. That's what differs from asphalt racing the dirt track is, you know, yeah, the asphalt rubber's up, but it doesn't quite change as dramatically as your dirt track does.
Right, yeah. You get a couple lanes to choose from for asphalt, where dirt can go all the way up to the wall if it needs to. Not much asphalt tracks go to the wall.
That's for certain. And great job tonight getting that win. You got sponsors, shout out to anybody you want to thank for getting that victory.
Yeah, all you guys for putting this on, all the guys at FTM and Swan Speed Shop for 358 Big Blocks. That's
Alrighty, well, congrats. And are we going to see you in the big box tonight?
yeah, I'll probably be around there somewhere.
Alrighty, well, good luck.
Thank you, sir.
All right, with Clay Christopherson, your victory winner here tonight, getting that win. Here it goes to Coast. Hey, see there, that 51. Swan Speed Shop Machine getting that win. Great job there tonight. Hopefully everybody's enjoying the show so far. We will be back shortly with the Big Block Modifieds.
They say it's a matter of time, 1,000 days and the sun won't shine before I come back to you. For your love I will go far, I wanna be wherever you are. I know I'm coming back for you.
Brother, it's good to see you.
My love is a river long, the best ride in a million wrongs. I know I'm coming back to you, and I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. And I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. I'm making my way home, I'm making my way.
Our biggest thing is getting the word out, awareness of Mission 22, the struggle as it is to fight PTSD and suicide. My name is Corey Decker. I'm the state representative for Mission 22. This year's been great. We got a bunch of great guys that have gotten together and decided to create this rally. The word's getting out, and it's turning into quite an event where we can actually help a lot of others. It's a great event, but you really have to go and see it for yourself, and it's really one of those things that's an experience. Just going that weekend, you've seen how it changes people.
right, here we are tonight. Practice going on for your big blocks here at Knoxville. This is your Village House Coffee big blocks here for Thursday Night Thunder. We got about 10 drivers here, or 11 drivers here in the big blocks. Awesome racing, a lot here tonight. For sure there, Ron. We definitely had a great bots of racing. Thank you for, I believe it, you, Ron, have been helping with the sponsorship here with the 358. Great job there. We've got Village House Coffee here for the big blocks tonight. And then for the Pro Late models, we'll have Regal Wraps and Designs. They come out there tonight, bringing on the big blocks, getting qualifying underway here tonight. Scott Thompson there in the 8 machine. There on the bottom, rolling off the speedway. Out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Coming around turn 3 and 4. And gets it underway. Coming across the line, green flag waves for him in the corner number 1. Now these big blocks should have a little bit easier time getting off the corners than what those 358s did. In that 099. And it comes up off the corner. Roberts there with an 18.397. Now we got Barger with a, oh, wait a moment, Watson now in that 23 machine gets an 18.328. Moody in the car number 73 out there with a 18.358. See if any of them can top that. Salas, 18.298 in the 5. A lot better run here in the big block than what he had in the 358. Larry Moody sits in 3rd here. Brewer out there on track right now trying to get himself locked into a position here. Up off the corner, down to corner number 1 and 2. Brewer with a time. I'm not seeing a time yet for Brewer. And he comes there off turn number 4. And he'll be sitting with a 18.250. A great time there for Mike Brewer. So Christopherson and Vaccio yet. Brian Moore squeezing on in here. Last minute entry. He'll quickly get that thing unloaded and in here. Heats are warming up. Good luck there to these drivers as they come in here. Harold Klump out there getting that pole position after the invert. Driving car number 35 on that front row. Billy Roberts there in 2nd. William Watson there in 3rd. Isaac Salas 4th. Scott Thompson. I'm sorry, not Thompson. Thomason there in 5th. Driving at number 8. Clay Christopherson in the 051 is going to roll off there in 6th outside row number 3. Looks like Christopherson, there we go. Everybody's on track. Everybody's gridded up. They are set and ready to rock and roll here with your heat number 1. You look there at Watson. Out there on that inside lane, starting there in 3rd. Hey, driver, bring it on out. Trying to get there behind the pace car, get lined up in an orderly fashion. Harold Klump, your race leader. Salas and Watson, putting in some good lap times here to start this first heat. Now, the way Coast to Coast sets these up, they are definitely the faster 2 of your front 4. Your second row is faster than your front row in a sense. They're working off of corner number 2. Along that back straightaway, we're going to be getting them ready to go. As pace car will roll off there in 3 and 4. Hey, Watson back there in 3rd. Salas there in 4th. You got the 99 of Roberts up top there. Trying to see if he can play that invert okay. There goes the pace car. They're coming out here. Now they got to wait for the official green flag here. Green flag in the air. There they go. They're down away into corner number 1. As you see, Clump down there. There goes Watson trying to get underneath Clump, and he does so. Coming there out of turn number 2. Gets a great run down that back straightaway. Dives it into 3 and 4. He'll get that pass. Down there on the inside. Does he stay to the inside? He will. As Roberts also stays to the inside. Thomason inside a Clump now as they work there off the corner. Salas ends up falling back. Salas into the back of the 8. Backed out of it to keep from spinning the 8. Now is back there in 6. Now they come there off corner number 4. We're gathering it back up. Thomason up there on the top side. Salas just trying to gain it, work it together here tonight. Ended up into the inside wall. Man, oh man, Knoxville just not playing nice with Salas here tonight. Had a great run there for a qualifying time, and oh man, Knoxville just is not playing nice for Isaac tonight. Blake Christopherson there in 3rd. Had a great run in the small blocks there in the 358. Saw him get the win. Now he's out here trying to get the win in the big blocks as well. As we got Billy Roberts there in 2nd. Watson there out front. 4 laps to go for Watson in that number 23. We got them coming underneath there. Here's Unlimited Battalion Motorsports driver Billy Roberts diving into corner 3 and 4. Harold Clump up there on the top side as they work there off the corner. Watson down there on the bottom. Christopherson up there in 2nd. Billy Roberts in 3rd. But Harold Clump there for Scott Thomason. There in 5th. And they keep working it out there onto the back stretch. With Watson coming through turn 3 and 4. Christopherson up there in the 2nd. Got around Billy Roberts as they work there through 1 and 2. Another time here. 2 laps to go here in heat number 1. This will be the inside row as we only got 2 heats of the big blocks here tonight. And Harold Clump there in 4. Watson doing a great job out there in front. This is your Village House Coffee Big Block Qualified. As you see there on the ticker, or tower I should say, they work down there off of turn 3 and 4 for the final time here in heat number 1. William Watson getting the win. Clay Christopherson there 2nd. Billy Roberts in 3rd. All right, here is your Heat 1 results for the Big Block Modifieds. William Watson out there getting the win. Clay Christopherson there 2nd. Billy Roberts in 3rd. Harold Clump there 4th. Scott Thomason there in 5th. And Isaac Salas in 6th. All right, here starting on the grid for Heat number 2. Maverick Seidel there in front. Jeff Barker there in 2nd. Larry Moody there in 3rd. Michael Brewer 4th. Alec Uber there in 5th. And Michael Baccio there in 6th. I see them all coming in there, starting there. So short little heats here tonight. 12 cars total. Larry Moody there in 3rd. Down here on that inside lane, driving at 73. Maverick Seidel there in the number 26. And come there off turn number 4. One more time around here under pace speed for your Thursday night Thunder. I got Village House Coffee, Big Block Modified there tonight. Yeah, side by side, Seidel, your race leader due to the invert. Mike Brewer, the fastest in this group. Starting there in 4th. Hey, watch that pace car roll off down there on the bottom side. Green flag in the air, down they go in the corner number 1. As they go side by side, Daddy's Money out there in front for Maverick Seidel down that back straightaway. Jeff Barker in the second now as he gets around Larry Moody. Now Larry Moody still battling there on the inside. Barker making a, or I'm sorry, not Barker. Brewer making a run down there on the inside of Barker. As Barker's up there on the outside in that 513. Mike Brewer there in the 39. Great run there so far. Down there on the inside once again. Driving at 390. As he works off the corner. 7 laps to go right there behind Larry Moody. And he worked there off the corner. Hey, watch that. Oh, sorry, that's 390 down there on the bottom side. Mike Brewer, great job there. Holding on to the second 5 laps to go. Maverick Seidel still trying to hang on to first place. Brewer's up 2 spots. He started for it. He is your fastest car in this feature, or I mean, in this heat. Down there on the bottom. And he gets around Seidel, and Seidel slides up there against that outside wall. Gonna let Brewer around a little bit as he tries to battle there on the outside lane. That middle of the track really coming in right at the moment. And see Barker there for Brewer. 3 laps to go for him from Full Throttle Motorsports out there in front. You got Venom Racing, Michael Seidel there in second. Larry Moody there in third. Jeff Barker back here in fourth. Alex Uber back there in fifth. And we got that number 147 of Machio back, or 747 of Machio back there at the back. Mike Brewer down there on that bottom side as they work up off the corner. Seidel in second. You got the 78.3 there of Larry Moody working down there on the bottom. What a great run so far by these drivers. You watch them roll down there. Off corner number 3 and 4. Maverick Seidel there second. Larry Moody there in third. Jeff Barker in fourth. Now watch them roll down there. Off corner number 4. It is Mike Brewer getting the win here in heat number 2. So he'll start front row outside for the feature event. We will be back in a short moment here after a word from our sponsors. Don't go anywhere. The main event here coming up for your big block modifieds.
Thank you to our sponsors and partners for the 2025-2026 winter season.
All right, back here at the Speedway. Just a little bit of time to go here for the Thursday Night Thunder practice. I see about 16 seconds there left before they take their green here for the main event. And we're there off the corner. There ain't your results. I don't think we went over them. There, Mike Brewer, Maverick Seidel, Larry Moody getting third, Jeff Parker fourth, Alec Uber in fifth, Michael Machillo there in sixth. All right, here for your main event here tonight. Your grid looks like this. 12 drivers, that's what we got. William Watson starting out there on the front row. They're in the pole position. Full throttle motorsports. Mike Brewer starting there on his outside, driving at number 390. Clay Christopherson there in third, driving at 051. Maverick Seidel starting to his outside of row number 2. In the fourth, driving car number 26. The inside, row number 3, is going to be fifth. The 99 of Billy Roberts. There on the outside of Larry Moody. They're in sixth, driving the 73. The 35 of Harold Klump going to start inside row number 4 in seventh. And to his outside of 513 of Jeff Barker. The 8 of Scott Thomason. They're in ninth. On the inside of row number 5 and in 10th to his outside, there is Alec Uber driving the number 2. Venom Racing, Isaac Salas back here in 11th tonight. Driving that number 5, that'll be inside row number 6 as Michael Machillo starts to his outside there in the 147. We'll see if Salas can get a better run here in this race. He's been struggling a little bit here. This is Knoxville. So Knoxville here tonight just not playing nice. Salas, you see them there down the back straightaway. Here at Knoxville at 72 degrees Fahrenheit, 38% humidity. Cloudy with 4 mile per hour winds. Hey, watch, there is Watson, your leader, coming there off turn number 2. I'm sorry, turn number 4. "30 laps of distance here tonight for the big block, brought to you by Village House Coffee. The Village House Coffee big blocks here tonight. They roll down there through the back straight away. A little blink out of Brewer up there on the outside. Full Throttle Motorsports has the front row. There you see Venom Racing, Maverick Seidel there in 4th on that outside. Row number 2, they come here off turn number 4. Green flag in the air. They are down and away as green flag hits. And into corner number 1, Mike Brewer on that high side. William Watson down there on the inside. Billy Roberts trying to make it inside work for him as well. And down there on the bottom for Vitelli Motorsports, rolling off the corner. And as they work up off, look out, don't touch. Man, that gets tight down there in the corner number 1 they go. With Billy Roberts down there on the inside. William Watson out front. Mike Brewer back here in 3rd. Maverick Seidel back here 4th. Larry Moody in 5th. Harold Klump there in 6th. They keep throwing off there. Everybody front to back, single file right now. Maverick Seidel there in 4th as they keep throwing off. Down off corner number 1 and 2. Harold Klump there in 5th. Larry Moody there 6th. Scott Thomason there in 7th. Now Jeff Barker is squeezing down there on the inside of Thomason. Trying to try to get that machine rolling towards the front. We saw that bottom lane come in late there in the 358, which it's going to be a little easier for these big blocks to get up off of the corner down there on that inside lane. They're a little lighter, a little bit more power. So they can run down there on that bottom side a little bit better than the 358. Get a little bit more of a pickup off the corner. As you see, your front 3 right there all stacked up. As Roberts there in 2nd, Brewer there in 3rd. As Roberts looks down there to the inside. Salas out, did not bring the grid. Seidel there in fourth. Larry Moody there in fifth. Harold Klopp in sixth. Scott Thomas in there in seventh. We'll have the pro late models coming up after the big blocks here. So still more racing after this, so don't go anywhere. We got them side by side for the lead here. William Watson out there in front. Roberts now gets to the lead down there on the inside here at Coast to Coast Racing Network and Flicker Farm TV. All bringing you here from on the pole. And they work there off of the corner here tonight. And Roberts touches down there on the inside. As Watson's up there on the outside. Look out though, here comes the 390 of Mike Brewer. Trying to work his way down there to the inside underneath of Roberts. Trying to shove Roberts up the racetrack a little bit. Roberts still underneath Watson. Can't quite get the nose there at the moment. 22 laps to go. A little bit high through corner 1 and 2. Brewer had to back out of it a little bit down there through 1 and 2 as Roberts down there on that inside lane. Watson up there on that outside. Roberts really making that bottom side work, and that mid line there through 1 and 2. That's one speed shot, full throttle motorsports machine of Watson up there on that outside, trying to stay ahead of Willie Roberts. They come down through the front stretch. Maverick Seidel, he's back here battling with Larry Moody, who's driving at number 73 here tonight. Maverick Seidel up there to the top side, trying to get around Brewer. On that high side, trying to make it happen. He gets there. Can he make it hook and make it stick? And he looks like he is for the time being. Getting a great run off the corner. As that top lane starting to come in a little bit here. Brewer probably gonna figure that out there as that outside lane starts to hook up. That inside lane is gonna start to fade to this outer line. Roberts still trying to get that inside lane to work for him through 1 and 2. Trying to get up there to battle Watson for that lead. Seidel now there in second, in third, trying to get up to second there, back to battle Roberts. There you see Brewer and Moody going at it there, coming down the front stretch into corner number 1 and 2. Brewer falls back a spot to Moody as Moody gets up there in the fourth. Brewer now trying to battle his way back up there. And you see Thomason there in 6th with Jeff Barker in 7th. Blake Christopherson there in 8th with Alec Hoover back here in 9th. Eric Plump rounding out the top 10 here as they keep battling it around. Oh crap, I keep forgetting dang track name here tonight. Knoxville, that's it. Coming around Knoxville here tonight. Up there to the top side is the 99er Roberts trying to chase down Watson. Seidel there in third, getting a little bit ahead of Brewer. Brewer's got all kind of company from Moody. The two of them battle it back out again. Brewer got to the outside, got around Larry Moody. Brewer now trying to see if he can get up there a little higher than Seidel to get up there to battle for that spot. As Seidel works there through the corner. Doesn't look to be as high up into the marbles as our leaders are. They roll down the backstretch here. Into 3 and 4. Roberts there trying to get that thing hooked up there. Trying to run that fine line there. You don't want to be fully in the marbles like you saw Watson there, but you don't want to be down out of it either. You want to be right on that edge. Right on the edge of where that track starts to smoothen up from the marbles. Is right where you want to be. Now you want to come here out of turn 3 and 4. Roberts getting a good run there off turn 3 and 4. Going to try to slide it back in there underneath Watson. Watson sliding down the track a little bit. Trying to keep Roberts underneath him. As they come back down that back straightaway. Got to make sure he doesn't slide up there too much. Roberts doing a great job getting that thing to lock in. Right there behind him. He's not giving up any spot there. As they work through 1 and 2. Once again, 11 laps to go. Here in the main event up the big blocks. As they storm down through the backstretch here. Maverick Seidel. There in third. Brewer there for it. Larry Moody in 5th. Scott Thompson in 6th. Blake Christopherson there in 7th. Up there at the top side as they keep working off the corner. Down through the front stretch. Now we see Mike Brewer. He's trying to hang in there, getting up there to Seidel. As Ron's cheering on here in the chat for Mike Brewer. They hoping Mike Brewer gets up there in the third. Hasn't been able to do it quite yet as he rolls underneath that Venom racing machine of Maverick Seidel. Can't get his hook. Similar to the problem Billy Roberts is having up here in second spot. He can get a nose underneath Watson from time to time, but just cannot get the momentum to complete the pass. Gotta wait for Watson to make just a little bit of a mistake. By the field cheering on Maverick, who's sitting back here in third, staying ahead of Brewer right now. Coming there through 3 and 4. Seidel up there on that high side. They roll there, running a little bit of a slider through 1 and 2. Larry Moody back here in fifth, having a good run himself here tonight. Billy Roberts still trying to get around Watson. Watson ends up the racetrack a little bit. Here comes Roberts back down there to the inside. Roberts going to get credit for leading that lap. Roberts gets a good slider there. Coming here off turn number 2. Watson back underneath here as they go into 3 and 4. Roberts has the top slot. Watson down there on the inside, going to try to clear him. Coming off the corner, can't get him clear. Now Watson's trying to battle hard down there on that inside lane. With Roberts hanging tough on that outside. Watson can't quite get there to make the pass. Roberts now just got to kind of run his race. Hopefully he can find him. And look at that car bounce down that back straightaway here along that cushion. You can watch them cars just bouncing along. And now Watson falls back in behind Roberts down there off of turn number 2. That Gears Unlimited machine of Billy Roberts out there in the front. Maverick Seidel, he's still hanging on to third. Brewer falls back a little bit there on the bottom side. 3 laps to go here for Billy Roberts, who's got a mirrorful of Watson coming down the back stretch here. Right now in the corner 3 and 4. Watson still trying to gain that little bit of edge to get back underneath. He'll get underneath, but not enough. Here coming into corner number 1. Watson there underneath. Can't make the pass happen. Here comes Roberts back on the outside again. Down here through 3 and 4. Watson now gonna slide it down in there. Can't quite make it hook enough. As off of 4. There's another side by side here. Coming there, final lap. Here comes Watson. Roberts up there on that high side, battling hard. Everything he's got as they go drag racing down the backstretch. Roberts on top. Watson on the bottom. Watson getting the nose out there in front at the moment. Here's a drag off of turn number 4. It's going to be Billy Roberts getting the win here in the Big Block Modifieds over top of Watson, a gap of .073. Oh man, what a run there tonight. These guys really putting on a show here in the Modifieds tonight. That makes 2 close finishes here. We got the official results coming in here now. Your winner, Billy Roberts. William Watson second. Mike Brewer there in third. Maverick Seidel there in fourth. Larry Moody there fifth. Clay Christopherson there sixth. Jeff Barker there in seventh. Scott Thomason in eighth. Harold Klopp in ninth. Alec Uber there in 10th. Michael Machio in 11th. And Isaac Salas in 12th. That's going to be your winners here. Now let's go ahead and get with the winners as they catch up with them here at the ending of this. Man, oh man, another close battle here tonight in the Big Block Modifieds. Excitement all around here. Mike Brewer getting third place. I don't see Brewer will get with William Watson. Good evening there, Watson. How's it going?
Good about you, bud.
It's going good. Man, oh man, it's a lot of tough racing out there tonight in these Modifieds.
Yeah, that was tough right there at the end right there. Billy capitalized on my mistake there. I shoulder started getting tight. And I pushed up in the corner, and he got underneath me and was able to get around with that slider. It was a good move, and I was trying to squeeze him right there at the end, see if I can't push him up the track some, and he held his ground, so that was a good run for him.
You both had an excellent run there tonight, and I mean, 2 close races tonight, 358s ending that close, and then we got the big blocks ending just as close, so I mean, couldn't ask for much more out of a broadcaster, that's for sure.
No, you can't do that.
So, a great job getting second there. Unfortunately, Billy Roberts did drag Gracia out just a little bit more there on the front stretch. You got sponsors, shout-outs, anybody you want to thank for getting that second spot here tonight?
Yeah, teammates at FDM, Swansby Shops, Duke Pro Performance, Scriptex.com, Dune Dirt Car Series, Vortex Graphics for the Wraps, Express Installation, Shaggy TV, Coast to Coast, and Youth Broadcast.
All right, well, great job there, Watson, and I don't know, are you coming out in the Pro Late models?
Yeah, I'll show up.
All righty, well, good luck in those.
I haven't been too happy with them.
All righty, well, good luck.
All right, thank you.
Well, Watson, now we'll get with Billy Roberts. Good evening there, Billy. How's it going?
Good, how you doing?
I'm doing well, and, man, great finish there. Drag racing off of 4, holding your ground to make sure you got that victory here, man. How do you feel?
Feels good.
Anytime you can get a victory here coast to coast feels good, right?
It does, for sure. Yeah, it was a good race. Very clean race. It was, that's what racing should be.
Well, you did a great job holding off William Watson. I know he's a tough competitor here in the big blocks and all around here on the dirt, it seems. And you definitely showed up, and the track kind of worked for you tonight, it seemed.
Yeah, I think it was 2 grooves, and it was made for exciting racing for sure.
It definitely seemed to be 2 grooves tonight, which we don't always get a whole lot of on the dirt tracks. It all depends on how the track wears in, and definitely was happy to see that it wore in that way tonight.
Well, yeah, we didn't have near as much practice to ruin the track, so that makes a big deal.
Well, I don't know. The 358 seemed to have two lane racing as well.
Yeah, it wasn't bad either. It's just a lot of cars in there, it gets kind of hairy.
It can, but great job here getting that car in the victory lane. You got sponsor shout-outs. Anybody you want to thank there, Billy?
Yeah, all my teammates over Leadfoot Mafia and Gears Unlimited, A&J Landscaping, Vitaly Motorsports, Shaggy TV, and I don't remember who Jeff said was a sponsor tonight, but whoever they are, thank you. And, of course, you, Adam, for broadcasting it, and Coast to Coast for giving us a place to run.
It was definitely great here, and Village House Coffee is who is sponsoring the big blocks here tonight.
Thanks, Village House Coffee.
So, you gonna come out any more tonight, or are you done for the night?
No, I'm done.
Alrighty. Well, good job getting that victory here, and you have yourself a great night. Try to stay warm.
You too. Thanks, Adam.
All right, have a great night there, Billy. All right, at Billy Roberts, our winner here in the Big Block Modifieds. Don't go anywhere. We got more racing coming up. We got the Pro Late models from Regal Wraps and Designs being the sponsor for that this Thursday Night Thunder.
They say it's a matter of time, 1,000 days and the sun won't shine before I come back to you. For your love I will go far, I wanna be wherever you are. I know I'm coming back for you.
Brother, it's good to see you.
My love is a river long, the best ride in a million wrongs. I know I'm coming back to you. And I'm happy, nothing's going to stop me. to stop me. I'm making my way home. I'm making my way.
Our biggest thing is getting the word out about where it's going. It's a struggle as it is to fight these issues. My name is Corey Decker. I'm the state representative for Mission 22. This year's been great. We got a bunch of great guys that have gone together and decided to create this rally. The word's getting out, and it's turning into part of an event where we can actually help a lot of veterans. It's a great event, but you really have to go and see it for yourself, and it's really one of those things that's an experience. You just have to go on that weekend, you've seen how it changes.
We're back here from Knoxville. This time we're looking there at the 94 of Gary Oplin. There in the 94, as we said. William Watson out there in the 23. Running there for it. Greg Parmalee out there in front. Your leaders here in this. And the points, I forgot to mention the points there in the big block qualified. Those were Isaac Salas with 398, Joseph Grandy with 357, and Jeff Sharp at 293. Those are your top three in the big blocks. Here in the pro late models, Jeff Sharp out there leading the way with Trevor Giroux there in second, Joseph Grandy in third here tonight. As you watch them battling on out. Here tonight. Oh, we got, as we said, Jim Sharp with 326 points, Trevor Giroux with 280, and Joseph Grandy there with 230. Unfortunately, I don't see any, well, wait a moment, maybe I do. No, I don't. I don't see any of those top three here in the late model division here tonight. 6 drivers right now, as are the count. And they get ready here for qualifying. If you drivers like what you see, or if you viewers like what you see and maybe want to get involved, this is iRacing. There should be a link for that in the description, as well as the leagues here that you'll see here on the streams at FFTV. This episode of On the Pole brings you the Coast to Coast Racing League. Yeah, you're watching from Coast to Coast Racing Network over on YouTube. I know there's about 60 of you over there as well at the moment. That website, if you're wanting to get into this racing action, is c2crl.com. I don't know if it's in the description over there or not, but it definitely is c2crl.com. Check them out and get involved with the Coast to Coast Racing League as you watch it here on at Coast to Coast Racing Network. We watch them here Monday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night for sure. I think they also have the Tuesday night division as well as a Sunday night division. The Sunday and Tuesday, I'm not sure exactly what goes on for broadcasts there. As I know, I'm involved usually somehow, one way or another, for the Monday, Wednesday, and Thursdays here at Regal Wraps and Designs and Flicker Farm TV. I see your qualifying times. Andy Patton getting second as Jeff Barker lays down a good lap of an 18.162. Andy Patton second with an 18.187. Watson with an 18.407. Greg Parmalee there with an 18.429. Greg Offut there with an 18.463. And Alec Uber with an 18.477. All right, here we go. Your heat number 1 coming up here onto the grid momentarily. Andy Watson out there, still on track. There it goes. It's switching over into your feature event. So we'll see how this plays out here with the invert. Greg Parmalee out there gets the pole position out there on the front row. With William Watson there to his outside, driving at number 23, starting second. Inside, row number 2, going to be Andy Patton. In car number 87 is outside. There in the 513, Jeff Barker starting 4th. Inside, row number 3, Gary Offut. There in a 5th, driving at number 94, with Alec Uber there in 2nd, driving at number 6. Now, we've seen all kind of great racing here in the big blocks. What do the Pro Late models have in store for us tonight? It's been great racing everywhere tonight that we've looked. There Lamb come there off turn number 4. One more time around, and Fred in that pace machine will pull off. They work down there in the corner number 1 and 2. They want him come there off through in the corner 3 and or heading down the backstretch 4, 3 and 4. They work there off turn number 4. Pace car pulls in. Here we go. Everybody's ready here tonight as the green flag drops. Watson out there on the outside. Gonna try to hang on there to the front row if he can, as he's got company down there that was inside already from Andy Patton in the 87. But it stalled out a little bit there as Barker's on the outside in the 513. Greg Parmalee out front in that 04. Watson, great line up top already there as they work off of 4 down that front straightaway. 7 laps to go here in your heat race of the Pro Late models. On to that backstretch, you see Greg Parmalee there, Andy Patton there in 3rd. Jeff Barker trying to go and get up there and towards the front as he was the fastest in qualifying. Now trying to find that line once again here to get himself up there towards the front. The 94, Gary Offut working underneath him as they work their off turn number 2 down that back straightaway. As you see, Gary Offut now there in a 4th. William Watson up there to the outside, working their off turn number 4 down the front straightaway. Greg Parmalee there out front. William Watson there in 2nd. Andy Patton in 3rd. They work down the back stretch. Greg Parmalee, how we said, out front. Watson there in 2nd. Andy Patton in 3rd. Now you watch him come down through off the corner. Greg Parmalee out there getting that win. William Watson there in 2nd. Andy Patton 3rd. Jeff Barker in 5th. Alec Uber there in 6th. They come there off the corner. Watson out there in 2nd. Andy Patton 3rd. Andy off there in 4th. Jeff Barker there 5th. Alec Uber in 6th. They watch him battling on out there through in the corner number 1 and 2. As they work off there, William Watson in second, Andy Patton there third. Gary Offutt there in fourth. With Jeff Barker fifth and Alan Goober rounding out their field. Back here in sixth. Greg Parmalee still leads the race out there in front, playing well with that invert. That was kindly handed to him there with the 23. William Watson now up there in the second once again as Andy Patton trying to battle it hard down there through the middle of the turn. Can't quite get up there. Gary Offutt. Jeff Barker back here in a fifth. Hasn't been putting the lap time in there that he was there in qualifying. As you see, Greg Parmalee getting the win here in your heat race, driving that 04 Young Guns Customs machine. All right, here is your heat results. Greg Parmalee getting the win. William Watson there in second. Andy Patton there in third. With Gary Offutt there in fourth. Jeff Barker in fifth. Alec Uber there in sixth. All right, now we move on here. We'll be back in just a moment after this message from our sponsor.
Precision is our perfection is the only option. This isn't just a rap, it's a revolution. We go to Mercedes. The power of success, the style of things. At Regal Racks and Designs, we follow trends, set them. Every line, every finish, every detail Thank you to our sponsors and partners for the 2025-2026 winter season.
All right, here is your grid here tonight for your main event of the Regal Rap and Designs Pro Late Models Greg Parmalee going to take the pole here with William Watson to his outside there in second. Row number 2 is going to be Gary Offutt there in, I'm sorry, no, Jeff Barger there in third. Come on now. Andy Patton there in third, there in the 87. Greg Parmalee out there on pole. William Watson back here at the back for some reason. The grid is all gooped around here. Now, Parmalee starting on pole. Gary Offutt there in second. Andy Patton there in third. And we got Alec Uber there in fourth. Jeff Barger is starting there in fifth with William Watson there in sixth here tonight. Goofing me up a little bit here, guys, as you change that running order around on me a little bit, but we got it figured out there. As we see the 94, Gary Offutt there to the outside of row number 1 with Greg Parmalee there on the inside. Andy Patton there and Alec Uber in row number 2, and Jeff Barger, William Watson, row number 3, as green flag flies here for 30 laps. Here in the corner number 1 they go. Storming here through 1 and 2. Gary Offutt up there on the outside. Greg Parmalee there in second. And then battling on down there in the 3 and 4. Jeff Barger and Andy Patton battling out. As you see Barger down there on the inside as he works there off the corner. 3 wide with Offutt up there on the outside there. The 87 stuck in the middle of Andy Patton. William Watson working his way up through the field here, getting underneath Andy Patton at number 87. As they work down there in the corner 3 and 4. Getting that Pro League model slid around off the corner they go. Gary Offutt up there on the outside. Jeff Barker there in third. Greg Parmalee down there coming off turn number 2. But Gary Offutt there in second. Jeff Barker there third. William Watson in fourth. Tell you what, Greg Parmalee in front, leading the way. Jeff Barker second. Gary Offutt there running second as he's getting pressure from underneath from Jeff Barker. Now through turn 1 and 2. That number 513 doing a great job running down there along that inside berm, trying to get underneath that Young Gun Creations number 94. And they battle there off turn number 4, and it will be Jeff Barger getting credit for second place at that point in time with 26 laps to go here in your Pro Late Model division. Now through turn 3 and 4 they go. So you got that Sim Shop Parmalee out there in front, followed by Jeff Barger as he gets around Gary Offutt. William Watson getting up there in the 4th. He got around Alec Uber, who's running there in that number 2, Andy Patton, out of this race. He had troubles down there on the track somewhere. We didn't quite catch it. They come out there through turn 3 and 4. Another good battle raging here between Parker and Offutt as Parmalee holds on to the lead, kind of running his race at the moment. Gary out there on the outside, still battling with Barker. And Barker rolls up turn number 3. On up there off the corner, here comes Watson up there in the 3rd now. As he works there off turn number 3 and 4. Down there 1 and 2, down that back straightaway. Looking underneath now, here to see if he can get underneath Gary Offutt, as Gary Offutt up there against that outside cushion. Working there off the corner, Watson gets underneath him really well, coming down into corner number 1. Soon to set his sights on Greg out here, who's holding on to the lead in the corner number 1 and 2. With Watson there in 2nd, Gary Offutt there in 3rd, with Jeff Barger back here in 4th. They keep running off down through there. You see the 23 down there, getting up in the 2nd. Gary Offutt trying to put another move on him. They're up there on the high side, down that front straight, in the 1 and 2. 20 laps to go for Greg Parmalee. Out there in front in that number 04. You got William Watson there in 2nd. 6 drivers come out to turn out for the Pro 8 model tonight. Would love to see more here these Thursday nights. If you're interested, definitely check out C2CRL.com for more information on how to get involved here at Coast to Coast Racing League. Again, that website is C2CRL. They want Gary off of 3, Jeff Barker off of 4, Alec Uber there off 5, Greg Parmalee back there on the backstretch. This is your Regal Wraps and Designs Pro Late Models you watched earlier. Great battles going on in the Hawks Garage 358s and then the Village House Coffee Big Block Division. Yeah, they come there out of turn number 2. Jeff Barker there in 4th. Watson out there in 2nd. Now we got Parmalee there in front, leading the way. Down through turn 1 and 2, onto that backstretch. Alec Uber up there on the top side. Jeff Barker working there off the corner. I think Gary Alpert there in 3rd place, working his way around. Started in 4th, got himself up there in the 3rd. William Watson started with an EOL, it looked like there at the beginning of the race. Worked himself back up to his correct starting position of 2nd place. With Greg Parmalee out there in the front. 15 laps to go as Watson tries to close the gap. There on the leader, which he's slowly doing. He's got it down to about a 2nd. Now he worked down the back stretch. Here through 3 and 4. You see that lap time closing in on that gap. It's not easy to get there that time to click down there as you water throw a short slider through 1 and 2. Greg Parmalee there down the back stretch there in the 04. Gary Offit there in 3rd. Jeff Barker there 4th. Alec Uber there in a 5th as they roll it on out there. Andy Patton out having struggles here in this race. Greg Parmalee rolls it on down there out of the corner. Thank you everybody tuning in here on either Coast to Coast Racing Network or Fleeger Farm TV. Now they battled out here off turn 4. Watson trying to get up there to Parmalee, and he's slowly doing so. Can he do so in 11 laps? That's going to be the question. As Gary Offit is there in 3rd, Jeff Barker in 4th. Jeff Barker there started in 5th. Got himself up there in the 4th. Alec Uber there in 5th. Gary Offit, as we said, they're 3rd tonight. Greg Parmalee works there off turn number 2 down the back stretch here with 10 laps to go. Last race here at Knoxville tonight. They're in the corner corner 1 and 2. Well, Parmalee there out front. Watson there 2nd. Offit there in 3rd. Barker there 4th. Uber there in 5th. Now they battle on out of corner number 3 and 4. You see Watson getting that gap down to about 0.8. Slowly closing in there to Parmalee. Parmalee just trying to hold on to his race out there out the front. And they got Gary Offit there in 3rd. Jeff Barker trying to find that line there to get up there to Greg. Can't seem to find it as of yet. Gary has been really putting in great lap times here tonight. In that number 94 with that Young Gun Creations machine. They want to battle it off in the corner. There you see the 23, William Watson, trying to get up there to Parmalee. He's got the gap down to about a quarter second. He gets there on the bumper now. William Watson making a great run at Greg Parmalee as he rolls down there on that inside, getting that nose underneath. Here we go, 5 laps to go. We're going to see another close race here. That's in the works here. And you got Watson underneath. Coming here off the corner. Gary Offit there in 3rd with Barker trying to close him in here in the closing laps here. 4 laps to go. Watson had a nose there, couldn't quite make it happen. As now he's back on top, up there trying to gain the momentum. Coming off the corner, gonna slide it off the corner, gonna do a cut down there. Coming off turn number 4, gonna see if that works. And now he's back up top there on the high side through 1 and 2. Gonna cut it back down there through off of 2, gets underneath. He's got a great run there. Gonna pull the slider on Parmalee. Ends up way up the racetrack. That's gonna open the door there for Parmalee to come back underneath. Secure that bottom side once again as Watson now battled back on the outside. And as they work down that back straightaway, looking to set up the slider in 3 and 4 yet again. Here comes Watson's going to stick it harder down there on the bottom side now. Not going to slide it up as much. Going to drag race him off of turn number 4. It's going to be 2 close call. Final lap here. Who's it going to be? As you got Watson sliding up in front of Parmalee. Watson now side by side with Parmalee here in the corner 3 and 4. Parmalee there. Watson's going to try to shake up there to get underneath, but can't quite do it. Parmalee does a great job holding them off, and Watson's going to settle for second here tonight. Parmalee out there in front. Unofficial result, Gary Parmalee with the win. Watson there in second. Gary Hoffman there third. Jeff Barker in fourth. Alec Uber in fifth. We'll bring those official results up here in just a quick moment. We had 6 drivers here tonight. Here is your results. Greg Parmalee getting that win. William Watson second. Gary Hoffman there in third. Jeff Barker fourth. Alec Uber there fifth. Andy Patton sixth. All right, here we go. See if we got any drivers coming in here. We got William Watson with us. Here, our second place finisher. Good evening there, William. How's it going?
Good, what about you?
It's going well. Now, was it your decision to take that EOL to start that feature?
Yeah, I just wanted to have some fun. Like I said, I had to sit out last week and for a call out, so I just want to have some fun starting the back. So had fun driving it through there, searching for stuff to do, lines to run, and it's pretty good. Made a mistake right there at the end. I probably could have had Greg, but I misjudged how much corner speed he had going to entry. So I was going to try and cut underneath him by hit his rear end. So that's on me. But it was a good run. Had fun.
Yeah, the two of you definitely had a great battle there at the end of that race. As you come up through the field there. Great job tonight, William. You got any sponsor shout-outs? Anybody you want to thank for that second place finish?
Yeah, same as always. You know, FDM, Swan Speed Shots, Dupro Performance, GripX.com, Data Dirt Car Series, Vortex Scraps for the Wraps, Express Installation, Shaggy TV, Coast to Coast, and you for broadcasting.
All righty, great job there tonight, William, and we'll see you next week.
All right, thank you.
All right, that was William Watson. Now I'll get with Gary Hoffman, our third place finisher. Good evening there, Gary. How's it going?
Just wonderful and awesome. What a beautiful evening here at Knoxville.
Yeah, it definitely was, man. You definitely gave it your all night tonight, and finally were able to pull off a podium here in the Pro Late Models.
Yeah, every once in a while, like Vegas says, there's a miracle that happens, and so I just gotten lucky the last couple of weeks. You know, it's been an interesting field and a very tough field. So I'm really surprised that Jeff didn't get me. He's got a fast car, but I slipped up 1-2 times, so I thought he might get me. But it was a great race, and William and Greg battled out really good too. So
it's been great racing all night tonight. I can't be any happier being a broadcaster to watch Coast to Coast tonight. I mean, close battles everywhere. Everybody racing as clean as they can, despite it being dirt. And I mean, great job by everybody tonight. And you, especially for getting that third place with that Young Guns Creations machine. You got any sponsor shots? Anybody you want to thank for getting that third place?
Oh, yeah, I want to thank C2C and you for doing the broadcasting. And bear with me, my memory's really slow when, with my age the way it is. But is it RT? Who's the main sponsor? And I apologize.
For for the Pro Late Models, it's Regal Wraps and Designs.
Yeah, Regal Wraps. Yes, I'd like to tell them a big thank you and a big shout out to them. So, and then for my teammates Greg and Andy for coming in and giving me some pointers all night long during the pre-warm-up session. So, and I sure, and Roger, give him a big old shout out. Miss the old boy. Haven't been able to race with you guys very much. So hopefully things will come around.
No, hopefully, and I would say great job bringing it home in third tonight. And hopefully you can continue this momentum as you've had a couple decent weeks here at Coast to Coast. As the season progresses, you can keep that momentum rolling for yourself.
I hope. We'll keep our fingers crossed.
Alrighty. You have yourself a great night there, Gary.
All right, you too.
All right, with Gary off it. Now we'll get with Greg Parmalee. Yeah. Good evening there, Greg. How's it going?
Oh, pretty good. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing pretty good here myself. Man, what a win there tonight. Definitely had to battle it out. Bringing that Young Guns 04 to the front. And victory lane tonight. Did a great job holding on there from the invert of the heat all the way through here tonight. Great job.
Yeah, it helps when you get that nice start up front there. And I tell you what, William, he was on a roll there toward the end. I didn't realize he was catch me that quick. I looked back and there he was. And yeah, that was a good battle. Had a lot of fun.
Oh, it definitely was. There's been a lot of battles all night long. Great final lap racing tonight. Congrats on yourself getting that win there in the Pro Late Models.
Appreciate that. Been a while.
Well, you had a great run there. The car looked like it was handling great for you.
Yeah, the track, with the few cars that we have, yeah, the track stayed pretty good, pretty grippy, and yeah, and it was just kind of fit my style there for a little bit, but I like it a little slicker than that. But yeah, Knoxville is one of my favorite tracks. There's always 2 or 3 grooves in this place, and you can always find somewhere to go to get some traction. And it's just a fun track. I love it.
Well, like I said, you did a great job getting that victory. You got sponsors, shout-outs, anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to thank you for the broadcast and C2C and everybody that behind the scenes and what is it, Regal Wrap Designs.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank them for the sponsorship and everybody else involved. Like I said, it's a great group, a lot of fun, and hopefully we can work on getting this car count up in this late model class.
Well, that would be great to see. I mean, because it looks like you guys are having a blast here on Thursday nights. So hopefully we can get the car count up everywhere here at Coast to Coast. That'd be excellent to see.
Yes, sir.
So
yeah, makes it a lot more fun, a lot more challenging. You get all the consi and 20, 30 cars in here. It makes it track changes and more of a challenge, that's for sure. But I'll take one of these I'll take this here and mark that one down as a win. And like I said, they're hard to get nowadays.
That they are, especially when you got competition like Watson biting at your heels.
Oh yeah. Yep, he was pretty calm and smooth, and I'm not sure what line he was running, but he was coming.
Yeah, I don't know what line he was running either. I mean, he was pretty much running any line he wanted, pretty much.
Right, yeah.
Or it seemed that way anyway.
Yeah. Old fart like me, I just try to be as smooth as I can. So, all right, well, great. And like I said, I love watching your broadcast. It's a good time to sit back and kind of go and see what you did wrong and right. And a lot of fun watching those.
All righty, well, congrats again there, Greg. And you have yourself a great night. Stay warm here in this winter weather.
You too. You have a good one.
All right. Greg Parmalee there in getting a win here tonight from, Knoxville. Jeez. Slipping my mind again. As we get rolling here tonight, as we said, as we get ready to sign off for tonight, that is. Great job there, Greg Parmalee, getting that win. Thank you all for tuning in here to Figure Farm TV, Coast to Coast Racing Network. Definitely want to thank everybody and have yourselves a great and wonderful night.
Thank you.